David Jacobs has a little more sexual response from his abductees and than somebody else would. John Mack has sort of new world environmental eco concerns, or whatever. So I'm very leery of this still.
Researchers and abductees are both expressing great concern over reported military involvement and interaction during the abduction experience.
I've seen too much from the secret government to jump to the conclusion that any of it is being done by aliens. We have to be sure first that it's not being done by human beings. I include in that, by the way, the UFOs that are appearing in the skies and being videoed, the whole phenomenon. The reason is that if you read the documents that have been declassified under the Freedom of Information Act about the MK Ultra project that was conducted by the CIA in the 60s and 70s, what you read there is the activities of psychotics engaged in insane programs that used and abused the minds of innocent people in ways that make the activities of the Nazi doctors at Auschwitz look tame. And this was done by Americans in the continental United States under a cloak of secrecy. It is among the most evil things that human beings have ever done to other human beings. It was done by the United States government's Central Intelligence Agency. That is a real, true fact. MK Ultra was a real program. They induced people to become psychotic using LSD. It's in black and white. It's in court records. It's real. People who did something like that are capable of anything. The fact that those people remain concealed behind a barrier of secrecy from public scrutiny means that objects appearing in the human body in this country, implants that seem to have something to do with mind control, we have to investigate first the secret government. Second, we look for aliens.
Speaking from experience, I can only say this for sure. There are humans who monitor abductees, who have interrogated abductees, who have abducted abductees, and either through drugs or electronic controls made them vulnerable to questioning and then tried to erase most memory of the event. And usually there are physical after effects. There's a grogginess, there's sometimes a nausea. It's sometimes very physically there after the event happens. Whether they're involved actively with the aliens in doing this or with a group of aliens, we theorize because we get reports of and ourselves see alien entities with the military people. But to what extent they are cooperative or coercive, we don't know. ETs have said they control the military in some instances. We don't know if that's true or not. They lie.
I never saw anybody else. There was nobody else in that room. I never saw where any of the other people went, where they were taken to or anything. There was a doorway in that room, a normal typical doorway, but without the door being there. Just the doorway, so I don't know whether the door was sliding across or up and down. But standing outside the doorway, and obviously there was a corridor, was a human military guard, dressed all in green, no insignia, no badges, nothing. It was just combat green colour. He had a round helmet, nothing on it, again green, and he was just standing outside that door. I couldn't see any weapons, guns or anything, but he was there. So it was like, well, there's humans interacting with non-human beings here.
I can't say it was aliens, I can't say it's interdimensionals. As far as I know, it could be the Ministry of Defence, up to some nice little trick, but all I can do is look at the evidence there, and I won't be led one way or another.
I have one case in my new book, Taken, that goes back to 1954, where military sequestered an entire family on a farm for 4 days after they had had alien encounters on the farm. So we know they were doing it at least that far back. It seems to me that they worked very hard, scrambled very hard to try to duplicate the technology, not only the technology for craft and the technology of other sorts, but also the mind control technology. And I think they've done pretty well in catching up enough to do some terrible things with this technology. They may think they're doing it for national security purposes to glean information that's necessary, but I know to a person if any government agency really involved in this wanted our information from any abductees, every one of them would be happy to offer it without being abducted, drugged, and threatened. We would give the information. They just don't want us to know they're taking it.
The secret government is like any kind of wild animal. It will do anything to survive. It will do anything it can to survive. It's going to be hard to break it. But if we want an American republic and a free country, we have to break it. The secrecy has to end in toto. It has to be possible for the average citizen to turn on his computer and get any piece of information that the government possesses. Or we don't have a republic. We don't have a republic. Now, this is not a free country. This is a police state. Then I have an implant in my ear to prove it. The implant is actually firing off at this moment. The ear is getting hot. The ringing is starting. We've turned it on by this conversation. What we're talking about right now, in the past few minutes, the past 5 or 10 minutes, it's turned itself on. It's on now. Now, isn't that amazing that a man can sit here and tell you that right now the implant is functioning? We've learned that much about it just in the past few weeks, just since we found out they were there. You may even be able to pick up the redness of this here on television. I don't know. I don't know if they can see it or not.
Yeah, there's a definite color.
Okay. Well, that's an example of an implant actually functioning while we're doing this interview.
For me, when I have interactions with these beings, there's a very strong sense of kinship. I know that sounds bizarre, but there's a very emotional connection there. One of the first things recently, when I started having interactions with beings that were typically in the appearance of 3.5 foot high, big heads, oversized eyes, small mouth and everything. They weren't grey in colour, they were blue. So for my own benefit, I refer to them as the blues. But they would say things to me like, well, they would only say particular things. They'd come in, they'd rush around like excited children. They'd emanate so much love and compassion to me. I can't express it, I can't describe it because I haven't experienced it from any other quarter. But it's like total compassion, total love in its truest form emanating from them to me, and they just kept saying, we love you, you're one of us, you're one of us.
My perception is that interdimensional encounters may be either negative or positive depending on the perception of the contactee and their stage of awakening or discovery. During my first encounter, I felt totally victimized. I thought I was going to be killed. So that was a negative experience. Now, 4 years later, after I have acquired many, many concepts and developed numerous theories about my relationship with the aliens, I no longer think of it overall as a negative experience. I have commented in the past that some of the specific events were hurtful, but the overall experience has shown itself to be positive because I have learned, I have grown, I have, I think, begun to know who I am, and the fear is gone because I'm beginning to think that I know who they are, and I'm beginning to think that they are us, that we are them. Should I fear myself?
The central message of my life is that the human soul can come free and be free in this world. There is no reason in the world why we cannot understand who we truly are, why we are here, where we are going, while there is no reason why the average individual cannot be fully empowered to meet the cosmos on his own terms. We are incredibly powerful beings. The whole system that we live in drills into us that we're powerless, that we're weak, that our society is evil, that it's crime-ridden, etc., and so forth. It's all a big, fat lie. We are powerful, beautiful, extraordinary. We have to wake up to that, and when we do wake up to that, we're going to sweep aside the cancer that is eating our government. We're going to find out the truth about whether or not there are aliens here, and we're going to be able to learn to work with them productively if they are here.
Now, you know, just a moment ago, that you told us that you had had UFO experiences.
Yeah.
And that you're going to tell us things about the UFOs which you haven't told anybody before.
Mm.
So can you tell us on any experiences that you've had in UFOs, bearing in mind that what you're telling us is the truth and actually what happened?
Yeah.
So can you start by telling us where you were and what happened at the time?
I'm in a field.
You're in a field.
And there's a ship on the floor.
Hey.
And I'm being taken by my hand. It's a field over by where I used to live. Just over by Cock Road. And there's more than one person, and they're holding onto my hand. And I'm walking towards the ramp. And there's someone's face looking at me from inside the doorway.
Are you walking up onto this ramp or are you being helped up?
No, I'm going to walk it. I'm walking up the ramp.
Right, you're walking up the ramp.
Not a very big ship there.
No. You're walking up the ramp and you're now going over the door. What happens from then?
Everything's really dark. It's like a dark corridor. There's no lights. I can't... No, I can't remember.
Can
Yes.
you advance yourself a little bit further? Do you walk along the corridors? Are you guided along the corridors?
They're guiding me because I can't see properly. It looks too dark.
Yeah. So they're guiding you along the corridors. And so describe in your own words what is happening. They're guiding you through the corridors. And what happens next?
I don't understand. There's a room with there's someone on a table. But the room's really bright, and I can't understand why I can't see it from the corridor.
Can you describe the person who's on the table?
It's a man.
Yeah.
He's naked.
Do you know that man?
No.
No.
He looks like someone I used to know.
Yeah.
He's got short brown hair. He's older than me.
Yeah. He's lying on the table. What is happening to him?
Nothing.
Nothing.
There's a light on him.
Yeah. So what about you yourself? You're walking past him, or you're lying next to him, or?
No, I'm walking past him.
Yeah. So you walk past him, and what happens to you next?
They're taking off my top.
They're taking off your top. Can you tell us more about what happens next?
They're putting something on my throat. In my throat. There's something in my throat and over my mouth.
When you say they, can you describe who they are?
Yeah, I'm not frightened. I've seen them before. The head is like, it's flat at the top and then completely round, where in the rest of it, it goes down into a slight point. and there's big black eyes, and I can see my reflection in the eyes. And he's wearing a suit. It's like black. It's like not PVC, but it's shiny. I've seen him before.
You've seen him before. Can you tell me, are there any human people around at the time?
I can't see.
You can't see anyone.
No, I'm dead on the table. I can't see around me.
Now, are they talking to you? Or are they transmitting messages by some other way?
I'm been told everything's alright.
Sorry?
Everything's alright.
Yeah,
Lay still.
lie still. And so you're lying still. And what is happening next?
They're touching my genital, they're touching my bits, and there's a pain underneath, between my legs. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing.
Are they doing anything else? Is there anything attached to you?
It's like a balloon on my arm.
A balloon on your arm? Is it a balloon around your arm?
No, it's like on a string. It's like a string on my arm with like a balloon thing attached to it.
Do you know what the reason for this is?
No.
At the whole time this is happening, does anybody give you any reasons as to why they're doing this to you?
No.
Do you ask at all?
No.
No. And you have to do this, do you?
Yeah.
Can you remember how many people, how many beings are there around you? And do they look all the same? Bearing in mind, you're remembering more and more and more. You can actually see them now, can't you?
There's the one in a suit. And there's... I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like there's someone stood beside me, but I can't see. I'm looking at the one with the... I'm looking at my reflection.
You're looking at your reflection. Is this in a mirror?
No, in his eyes.
You're looking at the reflection in his eyes. Can you just close your eyes a moment? Just close your eyes one moment.
It's okay.
Can you open your eyes again, Paul? Can you tell us, apart from this one incident, have there been other incidents, UFO incidents, where you've ended up on a ship?
Yeah.
And at the time that you've ended up on the ship, have the beings ever asked you any questions?
I can't remember.
You can't remember.
No.
Every time you go on the ship, does the same sort of procedure happen?
No.
No. Can you describe anything else that has happened whilst you've been on any of these ships? Anything which is different to lying on a table?
I'm talking to a woman.
You're talking to a woman. Are you talking in English? You're talking verbally, and is she talking back to you?
Yeah.
And she's a normal person, is she?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is she talking to you about?
I don't know.
How do you come to be talking to her?
She's looking at me and I can't hear what she's saying.
You can't hear what she's saying. So you don't actually talk back to her?
Yeah, but I can't remember what she asked me, and I can't remember what I said back. She's pointing to a window.
Yeah. Do you get the idea when you're on this craft? Is the craft stationary or is it moving?
It's moving.
It's moving. Do you get any idea as to whereabouts? Do you get any idea where were you when you went onto the craft?
I don't understand.
Did it happen in Bristol? When you went on this craft?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you got on the craft. How do you know the craft is moving?
Because you can see out the window.
You can see out the window. What can you see out of the window?
Sky.
Sky.
Stars.
Stars. Who else is on the craft with you?
Richard.
Richard. Anybody else?
No.
Can you remember how long ago was it that this incident happened?
No. About 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago. So you're on the craft. Can you remember how long you were on the craft for?
About 3 hours.
3 hours. And at the end of this 3 hours, tell us what happened.
I can't remember, I'm sorry.
You can't remember. Just close your eyes a second. To put my hand on the forehead. And you're going to try and remember what happened at the end of the 3 hour period that you were on that craft. You want to tell us and you will remember. The memories are flooding back to you now. And you're remembering.
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Can you tell us why can't you remember?
The woman's talking to me about it.
The woman's talking to you about what?
I don't know. She's...
Not that long ago. And the memories are becoming clear all the time. Just close your eyes a second. And I want you to really concentrate and really try to remember.
I am.
What is the woman saying? It's becoming clear all the time. You're remembering the questions that she's asking you, and you're remembering your answers.
I will not remember.
You won't remember.
No. It's... I want to remember. I really want to remember.
You do remember. The memory is locked inside you. And I'm going to put my hands on your head and I'm going to help you remember. Put my hands on your head. I want you to concentrate on the time and the space and exactly at the time you're in the craft. I want you to imagine the woman's in front of you. And I want you to remember what is happening, what the person is saying to you. So keep concentrating. The more you concentrate, the more you're going to remember. So really
It's like a black hole. It's every time I try to remember, I feel like I'm going in a hole.
Is there a light at the end of the hole?
No.
Right. Just try again to remember exactly what this person says to you, or the subject that you're talking about. The memories are becoming clearer. Remember more and more and more of what's happening. So really concentrate and really try to remember. What are you talking about? What are you saying? What's she saying to you? Can you tell us now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, you've been on this craft for 3 hours. How do you come off? Do you come off the craft?
I don't know.
You don't know. You tell us about the black hole that you were telling us about a moment ago. What is the black hole? You're in the black hole?
I'm in the hole. My mind's in the hole.
Your mind's in a hole.
And nothing's allowed to get in.
Right. So I want you to climb out of the hole and to remember what you're seeing.
There's no way out.
There is a way out. And you can see the way out.
Yeah.
And you can remember everything that happens to you from this moment onwards. You know exactly what is happening. You know exactly what
I'm not sure if I do. I want to go.
You do actually remember, and you want to tell us. You know that you want to tell us, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't feel under. I feel like I'm coming around or something. I don't know.
But you do want to tell us what's happening.
It's just a big black hole. Sorry.
Right. Tell us, you're on this craft, and it's in Bristol, relatively recently. How do you get off the craft? The craft must land, and you and Richard are on board the craft. So when the craft lands, can you
No,
remember?
it doesn't land.
It doesn't land?
No.
Right, so you're on the craft, and you're here now.
Yeah.
When you left the craft to get back to where you were going, can you tell us, how did you get back?
Smaller. I'm let down on like a stretcher.
You're led down on a stretcher,
Yeah, it's like a bubble.
like a bubble. Are you both in the bubble, or is it just you?
Yeah, no, there's me and Richard. And
Anyone else at all?
yeah, there's someone who's there in between us.
Is that a man or a woman?
I don't know.
You don't know who it is?
I think it might be a woman,
Yeah,
but she's got no hair.
right. And you've been led down in this bubble,
Yeah,
and the bubble is floating through the air?
yeah. But it's like a bubble, but there's controls in it.
There's controls in it.
Hmm.
Who is operating the controls?
The woman.
The woman. Can you describe the controls?
She's
Like a
holding.
car?
No. She's holding on to something. It's like I don't know. I'm let down. She's holding on to it.
Right. And where does this bubble come to rest?
I don't know. I'm in bed.
You're in bed.
Yeah.
Can you remember, how did you get out of the bubble into your bed?
I floated.
You floated.
My neck hurts.
Your neck hurts.
Mm.
What happened to the bubble after you left it?
It's gone.
With the woman on board,
Yeah.
and they left you in your own bed here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us, what is the matter with your neck?
They stuck I don't know. They did it.
What did they do?
I don't know, I can't see. I'm looking at the floor.
Is this in the part of the neck where your neck is sore?
Yeah, just a little bit higher.
looking at hair,
Yeah, just there.
just there.
Mm.
Have you had a lump or something in your neck?
No.
No. So can you think, why is your neck sore?
There's a circle.
It's a circle.
Mm.
Do you know what causes circle?
It's a little bit of, it's a little circle of metal.
A little circle of metal.
Yeah.
Do you know how big it is?
It's a little bit smaller than my finger now.
Yeah. Is it still in your neck now?
No.
No. If it's not there now,
Mm.
do you remember how it got there?
No.
Do you remember how it got out?
They did it.
They took it out.
Mm.
Who's they?
The little, my friends. The men.
Your friends.
Mm.
When did they take it out?
No. I don't know.
How long ago did this happen, that you came down from the bubble?
About 2 months ago.
And how much longer after that was it before your friends took the bubble, the metal out of you?
Mm. When I was on the ship.
When you were on the ship?
Mm.
When was that?
About 2 months ago.
So when you were on the ship 2 months ago, they actually took the metal out of your neck, did they?
Yeah.
How did the metal get in there in the first place?
They were put in there.
When did they put it in?
Oh, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Years and years ago?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Can you go back to the time when you think that the metal was put into your neck? Can you remember it being put in?
Oh, I keep seeing flashes of things.
Can you describe the flashes? Feeling perfectly comfortable, perfectly relaxed. Can you describe the flashes? Put my hand on your head, and I'm going to try and make you
You're
describe
seeing men.
men. Men, human men?
I'm not sure. They're naked.
Naked human men.
Yeah, no. I don't know, I'm not sure if they're men.
Can you describe them? How tall are they?
They're taller than me.
Taller than you.
Yeah.
And what are they actually doing, and how does the metal get into your neck?
No, they're not, I'm not on about that. He's just stood there.
Who stood there?
Oh, what's your name? He's different from the others.
Concentrate on remembering the person's name.
His eyes. Oh my god.
Eyes. Human eyes.
No,
Can you
they're
describe
bigger
them?
than eyes. They're blue.
Blue. How far apart are they?
They're quite far apart. They're very round.
Can you describe the body to the eyes?
Yeah. It's like a human body, but it's grey. It's the colour is very. It's like marble, like dirty marble. All right. He's got very weird feet.
Can you tell me? You described these people as being men. How do you know they're men?
I don't know.
Could they be women?
No.
They're definitely men. So describe how you know that they're men.
You just know.
You just know. Can you see any of their physical features that would be different from a woman?
I'm trying to look between his legs.
You can't see.
No. It's the same. There's nothing there. It's
There's
round.
nothing between their legs, it's just round.
It's just round.
But you do know that they're men.
Yeah.
Could you describe, like anything else, that with the...
He's going, shh.
Who's going shh?
The man.
Yeah. That's interesting. Why is it going shh?
Because I'm not supposed to tell.
Yeah, it's
I'm
quite.
not supposed to know.
No, it's quite all right. You're telling us, isn't it? It's quite all right because they were here before and they told us that you were going to tell us.
No. No. And he said that people tried to make me tell. And he said that he would be the only one that would ever make me say anything.
He? And who is he? Do you have a name or?
I don't know.